Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, October 10th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. In the previous overnight session here, we had a pretty aggressive sell-off right at the after hours open here. Price sold off tremendously here, broke down below two-day lows, broke down below the previous month's low, and then rallied sharply. And then price double dipped back down back to those levels, forming a minor higher low there, and then rallied right back up to new highs. So this has been a very, very active after hours overnight session. And right now, heading into the market here, we have a failed low. This could perhaps be a higher low that's developing. We have quite a bit of compression here that's developing here, but with volatility. And it reminds me of something like we saw back here right before we perhaps see some sort of big move one way or another. But the way that this is lining up, it appears like it wants to bounce higher, especially after rejecting prices below two-day lows and the previous month's low here and then rallying back up. It appears like the market is looking to rally at some point here. So again, this is a very important spot in the chart here. The market continues to hold just above that 200-day average. Every time it's come down there, it's bounced tremendously. If this were to bounce from the 2900 level, then there could be an easy return back toward the previous month's close, which is right here about 2980s. So that's going to be a very nice quick move if it were to turn out that way. One thing we'll be looking at today is how does price respond to 2905. 2900, that zone. If price can hold that zone, then there could be more upside here today. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. What you'll notice with the NQ, very similar price action. This one had a move that tested 7600. This is the level we were looking at yesterday. I mentioned if price can't hold 7600, things can get pretty ugly pretty fast. This thing broke down below 7600 in after hours trading yesterday and rallied tremendously back towards 7700. Again, this was all last night, and then it dropped hard again back below 7620 and rallied again. Now we're holding at these highs. Again, very similar price action to the ES. It again reminds me of price action over here right before maybe you see that rally toward recent highs. So again, if this thing were to bounce, again we would likely push through the previous week's close here and rally back toward 8K, 7900 to 8K, and that could be just a short-term move. If this thing really starts to unload to the upside, we could be looking at new highs fairly quickly. So not that we would drive hard through those highs, but it could see new highs and then rotate back into the range. So right now we are clearly showing rejection here at the lower ends of the day's range on both ES and the NQ. We'll see if they can continue to hold them throughout the day. Taking a look at crude oil, you'll see crude oil also has a rejection that is developing here today. This is another one that sold off tremendously right after hours yesterday and dropped as low as 51.38, taking out four-day lows, not quite taking out the recent low at 50.99, and then bouncing tremendously. Pretty solid rally right now. 52.20, a great intraday support level. It's bounced off that zone and is trading 53s right now. Again, this is another one that is building quite a bit of energy right in this zone right here. That's a lot of energy is building out, and if it can break out or break free from that zone, again, what I mentioned yesterday to our traders is if this thing can break through 54s, there could be a pretty fast move back up toward 56, 57. So this is going to be very important to see, can price push through those highs. You have yesterday's midpoint at 53, which is going to be very important. You have the midpoint right here from a couple of days back. 54 is right above those tails. I mean, this thing could get very, very bullish if it can push through 53s and hold. So 53 is going to be very important here today for crude oil. Failure to hold 52.20 would suggest a failure. Lastly, taking a look at gold futures. This one is up 0.11%. It's showing quite a bit of rejection here off the 1525 resistance level, failed high, and while the market was this market was rallying while the market was dropping here, the broader market was dropping after hours. So after hours yesterday, this thing rallied, pushed above the previous session's high, and it's now pushed back down modestly. Again, this is another one here that has reached long-term key level of 1525. That's a 6-year level. It took 6 years to get back to that level, and here we are, just kind of stopped right at that zone. You can see clear resistance coming into that level. Again, if the broader market's going to rally here, then this one might be susceptible to another turn down, especially with the way that price is unable to get above that 1525 and find acceptance. It has been all downhill. It tried here, it tried to hold it there. That failure there pushed price back down, and it's been lower ever since. So this is going to be very important. Can it get above 1525? Because if not, we could be looking at another retest of recent lows. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.